Do you want to know the secret of becoming a top real estate agent? Today, we're going to talk about what the perfect daily schedule is for a top real estate agent. We're going to dissect that from start to finish. My name is Peter Boutros, and today I have with me
Sharif Fatab.
Sharif. So, tell me about what is the perfect daily schedule? We hear that sometimes, and what does the top producer's schedule look like?
Top producers that I know, basically, Peter, they're going to get up early, right? They're going to start their schedule earlier than anyone else, and try to get ahead of the game. And the first thing I like to do in the morning is kind of, try to set the tone correct for the actual day. And with that being said, I like to do some affirmations, and just kind of count down the things that we're thankful for, because being humble is really key to success, right? Don't get ahead of yourself. Don't get too big on yourself, and it kind of keeps you balanced for the day. And then after that, I'll normally go and I'll work out before taking a shower, and then normally I'll go back downstairs. The kids are, getting ready for school, and then at 8 a.m. we normally have our daily huddle for our team. I think it's essential and it's really critical to have that time as well with the team, so that we kind of center ourselves and go over what we did the day before, kind of review any type of wins and kind of camaraderie between the team, and then review any issues anyone's had, so we all start off the day the same way, and then that continues on. I mean, Peter, what do you think about it? What does your morning look like?
Well, I'm an early riser. I was not always like that, but my day starts at 4:15. That's when I wake up. I my my go-to place just to get my mind off of things and kind of start the day right is going to the gym. I feel like that helps me get through the day a lot and takes a lot of stress off. And usually in the gym by 5, done by 6 or 6:15 the latest, and then get ready for the day in the office between 7 and 7:30. Start the huddle like you said, 7:30 in the morning, and I think that's very important because real estate is a lonely, very lonely business, and if we don't collaborate together as a team, and like you said, the daily wins, what kind of struggles we went through the day before, and this is an opportunity to keep each other accountable, and this is something that I learned from high level athletes. Those people that want to perform at a high level, they end up getting attracted to accountability. They want to be held accountable and they want to make sure that they're going on the right track, because if not, they're going to end up falling off. Because you may have a client that's going to cause you a little bit of stress, or you may have a bad day or a bad week, but if you don't have that environment to keep you going and give lift your spirits up, you can easily end up getting into this mindset of feeling like a victim mindset and feeling like everything is not going in your way, or maybe even think about quitting. But when you're surrounded with people that are getting little wins here and there, and then also talking about things that we can control on the daily huddle, like our needle moving commitments that we have to do on daily basis, and what we need to do to move forward, because we're not going to be able to control things outside of things we do, such as interest rates or how the market is doing, but we can control our activity. And like you said, it really starts with the morning. And if we heard this before, if you win the morning, you win the day. And then right after that, we typically want to check off the hardest things to do off our schedule. And we really like to get prospecting and following up out of the way, early on. This way we have more time to put out fires or go on appointments, because it's a little bit easier to manage that way.
Definitely. I mean, that's usually what I try to do too, right after huddle, is prospect time. Minimally 2 hours we're spending on calling our lists, following up on tasks, emailing, texting, doing things of that nature to try to prospect leads, right? Anything that really I need to do that's important needs to be done before 11 a.m., because that's when everyone else is starting. Real estate normally starts right around 11 a.m. for everybody. So if you can get all your prospecting time done before 11, it just sets your tone for the rest of the day as well. So you can take on and put out the fires of real estate and then continue with the other aspects of it. So I think just basically blocking out your lead generation time is essential. And doing that first thing in the morning after your morning routine is probably the best time to do it as well. Don't you agree, Peter?
Oh, 100%. And I don't want everybody to beat themselves down if for a couple of days here and there are not able to do it, because we're not robots at the end of the day, and things will come up. And if you have to take care of your kids, as an example, one of them is sick, or you have an appointment that there's no way that you can schedule in the afternoon, we need to have some sort of flexibility too. When I was getting coached to for nutrition and fitness, my coach was always telling me, hey, like, as long as you're 80% on your schedule or on track, then you're good. You don't have to be 100%. So going back to that 80/20 rule, and then being able to make up for it towards the day, because, like, hey, listen, like, if you're able to do only 1 or 2 hours that day, and then you can make it up another day that you don't have any appointments, I think that's okay, as long as you just don't get out of the habit of doing it consistently every single day.
Yeah, you definitely want to keep it consistent. I mean, I understand that. You definitely want to try to stay to the same schedule if possible, to keep it structured because real estate's already hectic, right? We're trying to find order into chaos. So if you can try to order things and kind of be fair to yourself, because let's be honest, if you were to do multitasking is possible. Don't get me wrong. And sometimes you'll have to multitask while you're prospecting. And it's good to have that mind frame of, hey, I'm in prospect mode, instead of shifting from prospect mode to problem solving mode for, say, like a transaction related thing. And then try to go back to prospecting, right? So doing that, you just lose time along the way. So you're just not going to be as efficient as possible because really, when you're high producing, you're trying to figure out how to basically use your time as valuable as possible and not lose those transitional periods because that 15 minutes of transitional period could have cost you a listing. It could have cost you a transaction, or you could have been using it better somewhere else. So it's crucial if you could keep it structured, but there's always times that it's going to be flexible, right? You got to understand, you be fair to yourself that if I'm going to if I have an emergency in the morning and I can't prospect, I'm going to have to move that to later in the day, right? So it's consistent because those consistent habits is what makes us successful. So that's definitely something that you definitely want to focus on. But after that, after prospecting time, I usually want to go into more of that the problem solving period, right? Where it's transactional things of that nature, putting out fires because it's 11 a.m. now and everybody else is back and doing the work now. And now we are doing the business for the day, going on the appointments, going on the showings, doing anything that we need to do that we were booking out, because that's the whole point of the prospect time is to book the appointments for the transactional time, right? So we can keep the pipeline flowing. Don't you agree, Peter? Is that kind of what you do, or is it a different structure for you?
No, very similar in a way. I typically like to call new leads first that came into our CRM from the day before, and then I'll block the first hour or so for that. And then afterwards, I will just follow up with our existing pipeline, those that were not, ready at the moment or not ready to make a move in the next 3 months, or we have not scheduled appointments with, or any of that. So I would call those people just to check in and just keep myself on top of their mind. So because they're very easy to forget us. Prime example, and this is something that I think I might have dropped the ball on just a little bit. I had a lead that I helped him buy a house over 2 years ago, but he ended up unsubscribing to a lot of the emails that we're sending him. So I thought for whatever reason that he was not happy with my service. However, all of a sudden, he came back through another referral source that we, get leads from, that wanting to sell his house. So I reached out to him just to say hello, how are things going? How's your Thanksgiving? And then all of a sudden he goes like, "Oh my God, I was looking for your number. I was already talking to two agents. However, I've not scheduled an appointment with them." So sometimes, like, this is how important follow up is, even with your past clients. I came to the conclusion that since he unsubscribed, he's no longer wanting to do business with me. However, that was not the case. Maybe he doesn't want to get like canned emails or whatnot. And he maybe was busy and he wanted to declutter his email. But this is how important follow up is. Even though we did invite him to multiple client events, he just never came. Maybe he was just busy. But a lot of times, what I've learned also from this is, not pretend or not assume anything until you know for sure that this happens. And then again, how important follow up is, even with your previous clients, even if they don't show up to client events. So, I told this to my team because, nobody's perfect. Even us as team leaders, I'm sure there are things that we learn on a consistent basis, and we have to continue to have this open mindset to learn other things and see if there's any mistakes that we've done to make sure to learn from them and make sure they don't happen again.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So after that, I mean, we're banging out through the day. You have your structured time, you've done your appointments, you've gone out to all your listings, you've shown all those homes. Then you're breaking into an evening routine. That's really when I'm blocking my schedule. What I do block is my prospecting time in the morning, and then I block my evening time, which is normally like my family time, right? And then things in the middle get filled up with the transactional stuff, right? So that's really how it works. So it's really important also to have that kind of, you time, the family time, the decompression time, right, Peter? I mean, you have to find a balance somewhere in this business.
Yeah, I agree because I think what every agent should do in the beginning is to block off any commitments that they have, such as family time. What time are you going to go have dinner with your family at night? And stick with that. So, whatever is non negotiable, put that in there. Things that you cannot move around. If you're a dual career agent and you know that you are going to be commuting to work from 8 to 9, and then you have another commute between this time and this time, and actually your work that you're there, block that time and find in your schedule the hour or 2 hours that you can prospect if it's before or after work, and then do it that way. I mean, I was in that position too, and I found a way. And on the same time, I was, wanting to make sure that I stay in track with my fitness. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do my prospecting while I'm doing my steps outside of the office during my lunch break. And I'll just have lunch at my desk. So instead of having an hour lunch, there's no need for anybody, I feel like, to have a full hour for lunch. You can squeeze minutes out of your day. If you really put your mind to it and you want to get something done, you will definitely do it. It's all a matter of will. If you have the will to do it and you really want to get it done, you'll find a way to do it. I just don't like the people that say, "Oh, I can't do it. I don't have time." You'll find time if you really want to do it. uh, I think you agree with me, right?
I think we talk about it all the time, Peter. So, with all the new projects that we like to take on, it's where do you find the time? And it's really you go back, you audit your time, you figure out where you're spending your time, and you figure out what you need to remove to fit in what's important, right? So that's the whole point of structuring your day and blocking off the important items like your prospecting, which leads to the transactional stuff, but also blocking your family so you don't lose sight of your why, right? That's usually what it is, so that you can continue to do it the next day and next day. Because the most important thing out of all this is the consistency and daily habits of doing this. Right. So we got to do it for more than 3, 4 weeks so it becomes an actual habit. And then you make it a lifestyle.
Yeah, I saw this post the other day, and I just shared it actually today. It just shows a graph of motivation versus consistency. And typically, when somebody starts a new project or a new job or anything that they want to try out, they put so much effort in the beginning, and it just looks like a big half circle in the beginning, maybe the first month or two, and then it ends up going down, as the time goes by. But consistency is you're doing the same thing with almost similar effort over a longer period of time, where you're not, going all out the first couple of weeks or couple of months, and then you're just flattening out the rest of the day, because that's not how you win a race, right? It's always back to that childhood story that we've seen with the rabbit racing the turtle, right? And then the rabbit goes all the way out and like waiting, and like because he thought he was just moving really quick, and then just waiting on the side, and the turtle just taking many steps. At the end of the day, wins the race. But it's like you have to continue to stay consistent, even during the times that you have a lot of deals on the table, under the closings coming up. And then we see this happening all the time, especially now when we're coming towards the end of the year. People usually start with a very low pipeline going into the new year in the springtime, and they start running around and like freaking out because they don't have any business coming up. But if you stay consistent, even during this time, during the winter time, people are still going to be moving no matter what time of the year it is. And it's even better now to get in touch with them before they reach out to somebody else when the time comes during the springtime. So consistency is very huge in anything that you do. If it's fitness or any type of goal or project you want to do, like, because otherwise it's not going to work out.
Definitely not. I mean, that's really why we have a scheduled day, is so we can stay structured and consistent, because real estate's hectic. So we're trying to find organization to it. And it's really essential. It's part of the success, and then just finding the valuable money making activities and structuring them within that time periods. It's not really rocket science at all.
And then I want to like kind of highlight that money making activity part. So, what do you consider money making activity that should definitely be a non-negotiable and on a realtor's schedule?
You have to prospect. I mean, I get a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'll just do inbound marketing." I'm like, that's great, but you're doing reactive real estate, right? I'm doing proactive real estate, where I'm trying to structure it where the pipeline's always full. So to do that, you're always outreaching to people. I don't care if it's Sphere or your past clients or new leads, or just following up on the leads that we have. It's the consistent habits of communicating with people, right? The outreach to people. That's really what we have to do as real estate agents. It's like you have to talk to as many people as possible and offer your services and just try to provide value. And
Right.
those are your non-negotiables. That's really what it comes down to. If you want to be successful, the transactions will come. Take the transactional part out of it and concentrate on building relationships, and concentrate on just talking to people like they're people and not a transaction. So I think that makes it a lot easier if you do that. It makes it, a little bit more consistent that way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like you said, the goal, you got to know what the goal is when you're speaking with people. The whole goal is to have a conversation that will lead into an appointment, even if it's just a consultation, a consultation about the buying process, a consultation about the listing process. That's the goal. Your goal every single day should be to either book one or two appointments with, one or two people that you have not met yet, right? And have conversations. It's not more about dials. Oh, I made 100 dials, but that's great. You made 100 dials, but nobody picked up. At least have your goal is to have meaningful conversations, like you said, with human being. Like, treat them like human being, not just leads. And that's what a lead is. A lead is a human being that may need your services at some point in the future, right? And it's just knowing how to have these conversations and ask open-ended questions to that will lead into appointments, right? Somebody saying like they don't want to sell, maybe they want to buy an extra investment property to add to their portfolio. Are you asking them that? Are you asking them if they know anyone that's looking to buy or sell? Like, or what's the reason that they're moved into this neighborhood? Like finding out more information. So there's so many things that you can have meaningful conversations about, and just focusing on open-ended questions. And that's what a lot of people get wrong. They don't know where to start, who to call. But I guarantee you, you're just not looking enough. There's so many people that you can speak with. I know, we had a conversation before, just as simple as people that are liking your post on social media or commenting on them. Those are considered leads. They may be looking to buy or sell. Like, are you reaching out to those people? like, hey, thanks for liking my post, just curious, where you are, where do you live now? Start a conversation. See, they might need to buy or sell, right? And then
Or
same
they
thing.
might need your help. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
We're in a service industry. We're there to provide solutions to people. It might not be transactional every time, but it's something that we do. We're connectors of the world, really, real estate agents. You talk to all different types of people. You might be able to say, hey, you need a contractor? I have a person. Or you have a plumber? I have a partner. It's just different things that people might need along the way, but they're going to remember you when the time comes. And that's the essential part. So that's why you want a structured day where you're following up with these people, and that's your non-negotiable. It's you have to talk to these people on a consistent basis. Another non-negotiable is also to have that time period where you are transacting, right? Where you are going on appointments, where you are showing homes or working on deals. It's very important to have that, and then also just a little bit of downtime. So that's really the non-negotiables to be successful, Peter.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. And open houses too are a great way to generate business. I mean, all these are money making activity. I consider, like you said, prospecting, following up, going on appointments, consultations, doing open houses, door knocking, all of these things. Prospecting is not only on the phone, there's other parts to it that you can generate business from. As long as you're intentional with it and you're not, using it as an excuse to waste time. A lot of people, like in the beginning, oh, I'm going to create this flyer that they spend all day on, that they think that once they post it on social media, they're going to get tons of business coming out of it. But they just don't see the return. You got to really look at the return per time for the time or the effort that you're going to do that will generate you business. And again, going back to consistency, like if you do it once or twice, it's not going to work. I was speaking with an agent like a couple of weeks ago that came into my office, and he was telling me, oh, do you guys do social media content? I'm like, of course we do. And he was like, oh, great, because I did this one video 6 months ago and I never posted it. I'm just like, why didn't you not post it? He was like, I don't know. It needs to be edited more. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like 6 months ago you did a video and you never posted it. Like, how long did you take to post to make this video? It's like, oh, it took me about an hour or two, and it just never got done. And I'm like, that's crazy. So just more of like focusing on what it is that you need to do, execute on it, and follow up with it. And I think that's the biggest thing that people need to focus on.
Yeah, yeah. Block your time, and just do those money making activities that you really need to do, which is prospecting and going on those appointments. Like it's basics, right? It's but really structuring yourself creates a little bit more harmony of your daily schedule of what it should be. You're not grasping anymore. It's not longer what am I doing today, or when am I doing this, or when am I doing that. It gives you some type of structure, which I think a lot of real estate agents need. Because everyone kind of gets into this game thinking, oh, I have a flexible schedule. But in reality, you should be structuring that flexible schedule, though, so that you're doing the important items that need to be done.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. So, um, what are you feel like the main takeaway that should an agent that's watching this or listening to this podcast focus on, that they have to take action right away?
I think a good exercise is to try to figure out what you're doing during the day, right? Just take a list of items of what you do, maybe every 15 minutes, write it down, and then try to structure your day where you're only doing say you're prospecting in the morning. Try to push all that time just for prospecting, and then all the other items, try to figure out, first of all, what is it that you're doing that you shouldn't be doing, right? Someone else that maybe it could be assisting you could be doing, and then book everything else, all the other time for those other items that should be done. That's what I think you should be taking away from this, is just trying to work on your schedule. Again, if you guys want a copy of our schedule, just comment schedule below. We'll get you a copy of both of our schedules and some other samples of your perfect daily schedule. And that's really your takeaway is you want to work on your schedule to make money making activities, just to build that habit day after day of the same exact things that you're doing that actually lead to the success. So if you guys definitely want our schedules, just comment schedule below.
Absolutely. And anything else that you guys need, feel free to send us a message, a DM, or you can easily find us on our website. Our website links are going to be below. And thanks for listening to the Playbook for Agent Success. Again, my name is Peter Boutros, and I have Sharif here, Hatab, with me. And on to the next episode. Stay tuned.
All right. Have a great day, Peter.
Take care. Bye bye.